It's Algebra 1, Lesson 4.6. We are doing quick graphs using slope-intercept form. Two goals we have is to graph an equation in slope-intercept form and then interpret forms with real-life equations. And we're also looking at parallel lines today, what parallel lines mean, beginning on page 241 in the textbook. Slope-intercept form, everybody, get used to this form. Something that you can use to graph. It's something you use more often than not to graph things very, very quickly and accurately. Y is equal to mx plus b. Y is going to be a variable that you leave as y, so will x. M is the slope. Think of M as two little mountain peaks, and think of the slopes of a mountain. M is your slope. Slope. Remember what slope is. That's rise over run. How many times it goes up or down, over how many times it goes left or right. B is your y-intercept. B's value is your y-intercept. Remember what your y-intercept is. If you're looking at a plane and a graph goes through it, this is your y-axis, the one going up and down. The y-intercept is that point right there where it crosses through the y-axis. So again, y and x will remain as variables. M and b will be the things we're looking for to graph these equations. The next definition is that of a parallel line. Almost everyone in here, when you hear the term parallel line, you get a picture in your head of what that means. Those are lines that won't intersect with each other. This is the math symbol for parallel lines. If you ever see two lines next to each other like that, you might see them written that way, you might see them written this way. That represents parallel lines. What you need to know about parallel lines, other than the fact that they never intersect, for this lesson is that they have the same slope. So when you're talking about lines that are parallel, their m value is equal to each other. They have the same slope. Whatever the slope is for one, it is the same for the other for parallel lines. Which means you can think of that completely opposite. If lines have the same slope, then they're parallel. If their slopes are different, then they are not parallel. So you can think of that both directions. Here is the slope-intercept form of the equation of a line. Y is equal to mx plus b. It's written in slope-intercept form. The slope is m. The y-intercept is b. The linear equation, y is equal to 2x plus 3. Y equals mx plus b, where your slope is 2, not 2x, but 2, the thing that multiplies by x. And b, or your y-intercept, is 3. Remember, the sign always goes with the number. So since both of those are positive, they're both positive, 2 and 3 respectively. Example number 1 has several different problems built into it. It says, here's the equation. Y is equal to 5 minus 2x. Last week, we started reordering this to make this easier. Instead of writing it as 5 minus 2x, we reorder those terms and put negative 2x first and then positive 5. So y is equal to mx plus b, where your m is negative 2 and your b is 5. Y is equal to x minus 2 over 3. Both terms get divided by 3. So if it looks like this, y equals x minus 2, you're going to divide this by 3 and this by 3. So that's 1/3 x minus 2/3. So y is equal to mx plus b. Your m is 1/3. Your b is negative. Remember, the sign goes with it, 2/3. Where y is equal to 13. Again, y equals mx plus b. There is nothing right there. Y equals mx plus b plus 13. Your m value doesn't exist. So m is here. That's why it is 0. And your b value is 13. Now, this one is not in slope-intercept form. It is written in standard form. So you have got to convert it to slope-intercept form. 2.2x, when it goes to the other side of 0 becomes negative 2.2x. Negative 2.2x plus 0. Then when you divide to get y by itself by negative 4.4, you do this by negative 4.4 and this by negative 4.4. 0 divided by anything is going to remain 0. Negative divided by negative is going to be a positive, and 2.2 goes into itself once and then a 4.4 twice. So y is equal to a positive 1/2 x plus 0. Notice they have positive 1/2 written as 0.5. 1/2 is the same thing as 0.5. Y'all know that. Plus 0, your b value is 0. So 0.5 and 0. On the back, there's one problem for you to look at, unlike all four of these. Write the equation of 3x plus 4y equals 8. Write it in slope-intercept form. Write it in y is equal to mx plus b. Then identify the m and identify the b. Take 1 minute. This equation is not in slope-intercept form. It is in standard form. Ax plus by is equal to c. What we have to do is we have to move it to make it say just y equals. In fact, we want it to say mx plus b on the other side. So the first thing we have to move over is 3x. How do I move 3x over to the other side? That's right, it's positive, so you have to subtract it. You subtract it from the left, you have to do it from the right. Remember, that doesn't give me 5x. Those are not like terms. What that leaves me with on the left is 4y equals, let's get in a habit of putting our mx term next instead of 8. So negative 3x, positive 8. Not quite mx plus b because we don't have y isolated yet. In order to isolate y, we need to divide by 4 to get y by itself. Remember, when you divide one side, you divide everything on the other side by 4. Negative 3 divided by 4 will simply be left as negative 3/4 x. And 8 divided by 4 will be positive 2. Now it is in y is equal to mx plus b form. Your m value is negative 3/4, or your slope is negative 3/4, and your b value is positive 2. Your b is 2. So y equals negative 3/4 x plus 2. M is negative 3/4. B is 2. Find the slope and the y-intercept of the graph of these equations. This first one, y is equal to 4 minus 3x. It's not slope-intercept form. You want it to say mx plus b, so these have to reverse. Negative 3x, positive 4. Now it says y equals mx plus b. Your slope is your m value, that is negative 3. And your y-intercept is your b value, that is positive 4. Mx plus b. Number 2, 2x plus y is equal to negative 3. It doesn't say y equals mx plus b. We got to move 2x over. When we do that, we get y equals, when we subtract 2x, negative 2x, negative 3. Now it says y equals mx plus b, where our m value is negative 2 and our b value is negative 3. So your slope is your m value, negative 2. Your y-intercept is your b value. Remember, it goes with the sign that's with it, negative 3. Negative 2, negative 3. Number 3 says y equals 3x minus 8 over 4. This gets divided by 4, so 3/4 x, and this gets divided by 4, negative 2. Now it says y equals mx plus b, where your slope value is your m value, that is 3 over 4, and your y-intercept is your b value. Remember, the sign goes with it, negative 2.